The episode begins with a man who appears to be afraid of something. He is running wildly on a road near a streetlight by the shore. He stops and calls one of his men, informing him that they have captured the girl and plan to finish the job that day. Suddenly, the streetlights flicker. The man's growl becomes increasingly ghostly and frightening. The scary entity then attacks the man, and the scene shifts. Next, we see a man named Uber, who makes videos about horror stories. I think he is just like me. He visits a village with a haunted site where no one dares to go out at night, and people avoid talking about it. Uber approaches two old men and inquires about the site. They tell him that years ago, a girl committed suicide there after being cheated by her boyfriend, and since then, the site has been haunted. Streetlights don't work there, and when a vehicle crosses the fourth light, the headlights go off, and the bike stops. To escape the ghost, one must get off the bike at the first light and cross it on foot. Uber then asks if there are any witnesses to these events, but the old man says that no one survives the haunting. Uber expresses disbelief in these stories and ghosts. The scene then shifts to Ravi Verma, a novelist living in a mansion with his paralyzed wife, Sandhya. Ravi takes care of everything at home and Sandhya. He goes to give her food and reads stories about good and evil, thinking they should be updated for the modern generation. As he writes a story about a girl seeking help on a dark rainy night, he hears a knock on his door, mirroring his story. He opens the door to find a girl named Maya, drenched from head to toe, asking to stay because of the rain. Ravi agrees as he is very helpful. Maya asks for drinks, and Ravi goes back to Sandhya, saying he'll get an idea for his story from their conversation. Maya changes clothes and asks for drinks, saying it's fitting for the rainy weather. Ravi returns to Sandhya, incorporating Maya's request into his story. He then goes down to Maya, offers her drinks, and compliments her. Now, Ravi asks her why she is here like this. What are you doing at that place so late at night? Maya reveals she is a psychic healer who communicates with spirits. She believes the area has a haunted site and wants to fulfill the spirit's wishes. Ravi is skeptical about her claims but listens as Maya talks about her ability to see spirits and her purpose in visiting the area. She finds Ravi to be a good, soft-natured man who cares for his ill wife. Maya then asks what Ravi would do if Sandhya could walk again, and he says he would dance with her. Maya offers to dance, but Ravi is hesitant, fearing he might forget his love for his wife. They dance, and Maya gets closer to Ravi, but they are interrupted by a knock on the door. It's the scared Uber from earlier, seeking refuge. The episode ends with the Uber charging his phone to call for help. We then see a flashback of the Uber itself. Uber crosses the first light, and then the headlight of his bike switches off. As he crosses the fourth light, his bike stops. This is particularly exciting because he didn't believe in the ghost story. Perhaps to document his experiences, he had created a channel, but now he finds himself stranded on the side of the road. Suddenly, a sound emanates from the forest. Investigating the noise, he encounters a lady dressed in a white sari sitting alone. Approaching her, he inquires about her solitude and offers her a ride home, unaware that she is the ghost that begins to haunt him. He also has an EMF meter to detect paranormal activity, which registers full readings, indicating the presence of supernatural forces. Terrified, he pushes his bike away on foot, and as the old men had predicted, the bike starts again. He then reaches Ravi's house, where Ravi takes over the hospitality, offering him water. However, Uber notices something unsettling written on the water bottle and flees, only to suddenly disappear. Maya admonishes him for his mistake, while Ravi tries to convince him that ghosts do not exist. He reassures him that Maya is normal and that he himself didn't believe in ghosts until he heard a ghost story associated with a road, which made him a believer. Maya also tells Ravi that ghosts are real, and Ravi, being skeptical, attributes these stories to the imagination of writers like himself. Ravi, revealing that he is a writer, discusses how stories can create an atmosphere. He then leads them into his library, which houses many books he has written, mostly centered around 6 sins: lust, anger, attachment, greed, and jealousy. The Uber notices 2 unfinished books, which Ravi admits he is struggling to complete. Upon inquiry, Ravi shares 2 short stories. The first story is about a girl named Soni, who is learning piano under the strict tutelage of her mother. Her mother expects perfection, especially when important guests are present. However, Soni consistently misses a note, causing disappointment and anger. Her teacher manipulates her, promising to provide the missing note in exchange for favors and threatening to accuse her of lying to her mother if she complains. The second story involves a wealthy house owner known for his harsh treatment of his workers. He demands a deaf butler, a servant who works without complaint, to ensure a peaceful evening. A servant arrives, incessantly asking for work, exhausting the owner with his requests. Ravi leaves these stories unfinished, seeking suggestions for their endings. He believes a story should be realistic yet spicy for viewer enjoyment. Maya suggests that the characters in the stories who mistreat others should be killed by a ghost, a notion that intrigues Ravi. The Uber, already frightened by Maya, checks her with the EMF reader, which shows full readings, confirming his suspicions. He tries to convince Ravi that Maya is a ghost, but Ravi refuses to believe it. The EMF reader shows full readings everywhere, which Uber finds alarming. He then sees that Maya has no reflection in the mirror, indicating she is not human. Terrified, Uber attempts to convince Ravi of this, but Ravi remains unconvinced. The episode concludes with this chilling revelation. Ravi admits that he has never written a ghost story and doesn't have any such ideas in his mind. Maya tells him that if he struggles for ideas, she will provide them. She holds his hand, allowing him to generate ideas on his own for the climax. Ravi then starts communicating with Uber, who is terrified and even considers running away. However, Ravi convinces him that if the stories are good, they could create videos for them. He then has an idea that if Maya is a ghost, recording it would bring a lot of views to his channel. We see a flashback where he started a channel with a partner, which gained 100,000 subscribers, but the partner left him for someone with 1 million subscribers to achieve success. The entire ride was for her, but now Uber turns on the camera. Holding Maya's hand, Ravi completes the short stories, where in the first story, Sony, overwhelmed by everything, trying to commit suicide. She was getting ready when there was a knock at the door. She opens it to find a gift outside. The teacher is visible, preparing for the visit. The teacher had come to meet her, and she was very pleased. He is about to receive favors when Sony starts playing the piano. Surprisingly, all the notes are played correctly. The teacher wonders where he learned this skill. He goes to check, but there is no one else there. The piano was playing by itself, and the other musical instruments seemed to be playing on their own as well. An invisible force, like the strings of a violin, was controlling them. Can you see the piano inside the gift? Notes were found, including the missing note, which was actually made from the teacher's blood. Let's talk about the second short story. We see a homeowner upset with his new servant, who always asks for work. But he tells her that he won't give her any more work and to call her man, who claims to be the one. The servant says that the owner had asked for Devin Butler, and he was the one. He has found the old owner's severed head, which shows who refused to do the job, and now he destroys this owner also because he also refused to give work. And I don't know why I got such a story, and it reminds me of a Hollywood movie. If you remember, please comment in the comment section. Well, now the stories are over. When the Uber says that only the hand, Ravi got the end of the stories by catching, meaning Maya is not normal, she is a ghost whose light goes out and the illusion also disappears from the place. Suddenly, inside the house, both illusions start stirring. They start searching for things and moving things from here to there. Everything starts falling, and now the illusion meets them, whose eyes were white, and he was possessed. Seeing whom the Uber was saying that he, the girl from the road, has kept me busy, and she asks his wish and sends it so that Maya can only be free. Ravi says that he doesn't believe in killing ghosts, but what is the wish of the ghost? Then she says that if she had died without marrying, then she wants to marry by wearing jewelry and telling the truth. And then Ravi shows her his wife's jewelry. Now, she brings herself inside the mirror. When she sees this, she starts shouting that she is not the one, to which Ravi explains to her that this body is of Maya, and only then Maya herself got possessed. She then stabs herself several times, killing herself. Well, now both of them are very upset, and Uber says to go from here, but Ravi says that both of them will get trapped. They think they have to do something, and Uber says that something was recorded inside his camera, but inside it also, there was no proper recording. Now, before both of them could think, Sandhya rang the bell. As Ravi was dealing with one situation, another arose when a police officer, Prakash, knocked on the door. Before attending to him, Ravi reassured his wife, Sandhya, who was disturbed by earlier events and expressed her fears. Ravi then quickly hid a body and cleaned up the blood with a companion before opening the door to Prakash, a special officer from the crime branch. Prakash, claiming his car broke down, asked to wait for his assistant and began conversing with Ravi. Unknown to Prakash, the body was hidden under the sofa he was sitting on. As Ravi was about to attack Prakash, He received a call and left. However, Prakash returned, having noticed a weapon and the hidden body. He demanded 2.5 million to keep quiet. Ravi complied, and they proceeded to bury the body outside. At that moment, Sandhya called Ravi, and as he went to her, Maya, the supposed victim, suddenly stood up, revealing that she and Prakash were fraudsters. They were a couple who looted people by staging such incidents. Their plan was initially to target Ravi, who they learned from local gossip, was wealthy and lived with his wife in Sandhya Nivas. The unexpected presence of Ravi's companion forced them to modify their plan. Maya's early arrival was intended to prevent the companion from interfering. After securing 2.5 million, Prakash and Maya plotted to kill Ravi and Sandhya to inherit their entire fortune, planning to retire from their life of crime. So, Ravi is telling Sandhya not to worry because he paid some money to solve their problem and they can live happily like always. At the same time, Maya and Prakash are trying to unlock a locker room downstairs but they can't open it. Suddenly, Ravi comes down and meets Prakash, but Maya knocks him out by hitting his head. We then see another flashback where Prakash and Maya are at a tea shop. A crazy guy there is rambling about Sandhya's house nearby, where a man lives with his sick wife. He suggests they should rob the place and split the loot, but the shopkeeper wants to rob everything for himself. Prakash heard this and decided to rob Ravi with Maya. Back in the present, they tie up Ravi and try to take the locker key from his pocket, but it's not there. Ravi tells them they're making a mistake and pleads with them to let him go, but they don't listen. Maya threatens to harm his mother and wife if he doesn't give the key. Scared, Ravi hands it over, which surprises Prakash because he couldn't find it earlier. They go to the locker room, but there's no money, just some papers, a locket, a cigar, and other weird items. Surprisingly, these items match the stories Ravi tells. Each locker has a number that matches a number in Ravi's books. Maya and Prakash are confused and angry, and they head towards Ravi's wife's room. But then, Maya sees that the bell wire Sandhya used to call Ravi is broken. In the room, they find Sandhya's skeleton. They're terrified, and Maya realizes the numbers on Ravi's books match the locker numbers. It seems Ravi doesn't just make up stories, he creates them by killing people who come to his place. The book and locker numbers are linked to the stories of those people. Ravi now knew that the people were aware of everything. Uber let him go, warning that they would kill him if he didn't leave. Ravi and the others started looking for Maya and Prakash, but it got dark, and they had to hide. Ravi looked elsewhere, but Uber was informed about him. Soon, they found Ravi, who chased them with an axe, forcing them to hide. They discovered that Prakash, Uber, and Maya were locked in a room. Maya had fainted, but they revived her. The shopkeeper, drunk, arrived to rob Ravi. They all ran to a storeroom filled with ancient items and found a portrait of King Ravi Vardhan Veer Verma, born in 1732, who was actually Ravi. His birth date was there, but not his death date, indicating he never died. They realized Ravi was a ghost who had lived there since 1700, and the palace was his. The writer understood that Ravi, not Maya, caused the disturbances and the EMF meters readings. They tried to escape, but the shopkeeper died, killed by Ravi. The house, once beautiful, now seemed haunted. Ravi appeared before them, and no matter how much they ran, they kept ending up in front of him. Ravi announced he would tell them his real story, revealing the true secrets of the series. So, Ravi was basically a king who ruled a state. He inherited the throne, but his younger brother was super jealous and wanted the kingdom for himself. Ravi was a good king, and one day, his minister introduced him to an ambassador from a western country. This ambassador brought a business deal for Ravi and suggested a plan to take down Indrajit, the king of a neighboring state. He even gave Ravi a beautiful foreign girl as a gift. Ravi agreed to the plan to kill Indrajit, but his maid, Sandhya, didn't like it. She bravely told Ravi that it was wrong. Then, Ravi invited Indrajit for dinner, planning to poison him. But instead, he killed the ambassador, sent the girl back home, and fired his minister. Ravi realized Sandhya was special and proposed to her. They fell in love and planned to stay together forever. But there was this girl, the daughter of a powerful man in the state, who wanted Ravi for herself. Her father plotted to get revenge on Ravi. All of Ravi's enemies, including his brother, the minister, Indrajit, the girl, and her father, came together to kill him. They succeeded, but Ravi's last wish was for them to spare Sandhya and the villagers. However, the jealous girl killed Sandhya too. Ravi turned into a ghost and took revenge on all of them. He continued to haunt the palace, teaching people that negative emotions like lust, attachment, greed, anger, and jealousy lead to sin and destruction. In the present, Ravi let 3 people go from his palace. They were about to leave but remembered they left behind 25 lakhs at home. Despite a passenger warning them not to go back, they did. The passenger wasn't greedy and left. Ravi had advised him to keep working towards his goals without giving up, promising success in the end. So, when the 2 of them returned, they found no money in the bag. They realized it was Ravi's trick, and their greed had led them to this situation. Now, their story would be known to everyone. Ravi brought them inside the palace and told them they couldn't let go of their greed for even a moment. The world needed good people, not like them. He explained that God had sent him to end those who do evil, and he had been doing it since then. The number of such people was only increasing. Ravi showed them a mirror containing thousands of trapped souls, molesters, sinners, frauds, and murderers he had ended. Their souls were trapped in the mirror. The same fate awaited these 2. Ravi stored their belongings in a locker and planned to send the books containing their stories worldwide. He believed that these stories would spread his reach, attracting more evil people to the palace. Then, we see the Uber who now believed in ghosts after being given a lift home. Ravi declared that this was not the end but the beginning. With that, this series concluded. It's speculated that the street light ghost was part of Ravi's plan, scaring people into the palace where he would end them.